do cocaine and fucking stop fucking girls.
What do you want to get from this interview?
I want to see how much
you've
changed.
Not because you're a piece of shit.
Mike Tyson didn't just criticize Jake Paul, he obliterated him. The moment Jake pulled out of the Gervonta Tank Davis fight, Tyson unleashed a verbal assault that hit harder than anything inside a boxing ring. In a live TV moment that felt like a surprise courtroom cross-examination, Tyson tore through Paul's hype, exposing the fear and fragility behind the influencer-turned-fighter's glossy empire. It wasn't a critique, it was a demolition, and this was only the beginning. If you think Jake's reputation took a hit here, wait until you hear what comes next.
Because you have someone that we come from two different sides, like, of the world. We still on the same path to get the same thing.
The fight that everyone had been buzzing about, scheduled for November 14th, 2025 at Miami's Casa Center, was suddenly gone. One announcement, and the entire hype machine crashed. Reporters froze mid-sentence, media outlets scrambled for answers, and boxing insiders were left stunned. Fans who had waited months felt blindsided. The cancellation hit like a blackout during the main event, and when the real reason surfaced, everything changed.
Also, I was thinking too, maybe Tank isn't used to being the B-side of a fight.
B-side, so everybody's working around his schedule, and now...
Yeah, when you the A-side, you get to dictate things, you pick who you want, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's not used to being the B-side.
Behind the scenes, tension crackled like static. Some insiders whispered that Tank wasn't used to being the B-side, the fighter who doesn't dictate schedules, locations, or negotiations. And when you've spent your entire career as the A-side, being forced into someone else's rhythm feels like a slap in the face. But that wasn't the real story. It was simply the first hint that something far more explosive was brewing.
The Jake Paul Tank Davis fight has officially been canceled. It is off. It is not happening on November 14th.
For weeks, Jake Paul strutted through interviews as if the fight were already won, bragging that he'd dismantle Gervonta Davis without breaking a sweat. The confidence was sky high, almost theatrical. But the second the storyline fell apart, the illusion shattered. And Tyson didn't gently expose the cracks. He ripped the entire structure down, revealing just how fragile Jake's empire actually was.
So that fight that was supposed to go down with Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis in Miami on November 14th is not happening. It has been canceled officially, and this comes, not too long after Gervonta Tank Davis was accused of assaulting a woman at a strip club.
Man, you know what I heard? I heard that Gervonta Davis was being very difficult to work with, and Netflix was just waiting for a reason.
The cancellation wasn't a quiet decision. It was a full-blown media explosion. Jake delivered a carefully crafted statement claiming he withdrew out of respect for the legal complications surrounding Davis. But the public didn't buy it. Commentators treated the situation like a courtroom trial, analyzing every word, questioning every motive. It didn't just cancel a fight. It lit a firestorm.
Worldwide television, can you fight this nigga talking mad?
Jake framed his withdrawal as a strategic and responsible choice, avoiding legal chaos, protecting the sport, and staying true to his standards as a competitor. On paper, it sounded noble. In reality, it sounded rehearsed, polished, and engineered to protect his brand. And when leaked video clips and insider texts emerged, the truth looked very different. Keep watching, because Jake's noble excuse is about to unravel.
Well, he wants to make some money.
No, I know. He's a good showman.
Fellow.
Mike Tyson didn't buy a single word of Jake's explanation, and he said so publicly. He called the excuse hollow, fake, and nothing more than a tactical escape route. Tyson said what the entire boxing world had quietly suspected. Jake Paul's empire was built on hype, algorithms, and perfectly managed matchups, not real danger. And now that a true elite fighter stood across the ring, Jake's confidence collapsed.
AJ wanted to go through the motions, wrap the hands, and just gear up to what is...
Tyson broke down Jake's record with ruthless precision. 12 wins, 7 knockouts, but nearly all against non-boxers, retired athletes, or MMA fighters out of their element. Even Jake's most celebrated fight, a split decision against Tyson himself in 2024, when Tyson was 58, was more circus than competition. Tyson's message was clear. Jake Paul has never faced a real nightmare. Gervonta Davis is that nightmare.
It was Jake Paul who found a scapegoat kind of and an exit strategy and got to moving.
When you compare the fighters, the mismatch becomes almost absurd. Davis is a lightweight assassin, speed, accuracy, technique. Paul is a cruiserweight brawler, relying on size and power. It's like throwing a rhino at a cheetah. One is bigger, the other is built to kill. And deep down, Jake knew exactly what kind of danger he was signing up for.
Well, what I'm saying is that I feel really good.
Tyson emphasized that Jake's size advantage meant nothing against a fighter with Davis's skill set. Every win Jake bragged about would collapse the moment Tank stepped forward. Tyson's verdict cut through the noise like a judge slamming a gavel. This wasn't strategy. This was fear. Fear of exposure. And that single line cracked the armor of Jake Paul's empire.
You've got a very talented YouTuber that's built himself into a massive influence with huge following.
Fans were furious. Tickets had sold out, media coverage was everywhere, and promotional teams had poured millions into the event. Then, nothing. A silence that felt like betrayal. Social media erupted with mockery and outrage. And in the middle of that firestorm, Tyson's commentary became the defining voice. Jake's fearless persona, the mask he wore so confidently, was finally being questioned.
Tank's team is now fighting back, and they're stating, and he was more scared than he had ever been before a fight by facing Gervonta Davis.
Boxing insiders joined the conversation, debating whether it was Tank's legal issues or Jake's fear that caused the cancellation. But Tyson connected the dots with brutal clarity. Jake wasn't protecting the sport, he was protecting his brand. His flashy empire looked powerful on the outside, but had never been tested under true pressure. Tyson framed the moment as a warning. Hype doesn't make a fighter, danger does. Stay tuned, because the truth behind Jake's collapse is just starting to unfold. As the headlines kept pouring in and the backlash grew louder, one reality became impossible to ignore. The biggest punch of Jake Paul's career didn't come from Gervonta Davis. It came from Mike Tyson's words. In a single week, Jake transitioned from the sport's disruptor to its biggest question mark, and the cancellation that was supposed to protect the sport ended up exposing him far more than any opponent ever had. Behind the scenes, promoters started whispering about Jake's next move. Would he rebuild? Would he avoid elite fighters altogether? Or would he finally step into the kind of danger that makes champions, not influencers? Meanwhile, Tank Davis moved forward with the icy calm of a man who'd been here before. Legal chaos or not, he remained the specter in Jake Paul's shadow, the fighter Jake talked about beating, but never actually faced. And Tyson walked away having delivered the final word. Not because he wanted to tear Jake down, but because he understood something Jake never fully grasped. Boxing isn't a stage. It's a reckoning. And the ring never lies. Jake Paul may still return. He may still fight. He may still shock the world. But after this cancellation, after Tyson's demolition, after the public meltdown, one truth echoes louder than ever. For the first time in his career, Jake Paul didn't run toward the camera. He ran away from the fight. And in the unforgiving world of boxing, that is a knockout you don't recover from easily.